Formula One is the ultimate battlefield for speed, skill, and courage. Every race is a dance on the edge of disaster, where a single mistake can mean catastrophe, not just for race results, but for drivers' lives. Over decades, countless crashes have stunned fans, changed championship battles, and rewritten safety standards forever. But behind the twisted metal and flashing red flags are stories of survival, cutting-edge technology, and human willpower pushing past pain and fear. This video takes you through the most iconic F1 crashes ever caught on camera, moments that forever altered the sport and the lives of those involved. So buckle up, because we're about to relive history's most harrowing moments on four wheels. Zhou Guanyu flip, 2022 British Grand Prix. The 2022 British Grand Prix started as any other, but within seconds it became a dramatic reminder of Formula One's razor-thin margin between triumph and disaster. Pierre Gasly tried to squeeze between George Russell and Zhou Guanyu in the opening laps. The tight space led to contact. Russell clipped Zhou's Alfa Romeo, sending it violently into a flip. In a heart-stopping instant, Zhou's car was airborne, rolling upside down across the Silverstone tarmac. Sparks flew from the shredded underbody as the car slid perilously fast. The horror deepened when the car's roll hoop, the structural bar designed to protect drivers in a rollover, sheared off almost immediately. Only the Halo, the groundbreaking cockpit safety device introduced just a few years earlier, stood between Zhou's head and the unforgiving asphalt. The car slammed into the gravel, flipped over a tire barrier, and became wedged sideways in a narrow gap between fences. For what felt like an eternity, the crowd and viewers worldwide held their breath. No word on Zhou's condition. Then a miracle. Thanks to the Halo and the lightning-fast response of marshals and medical teams, Zhou was pulled from the wreckage unharmed, a living testament to the power of modern safety technology in Formula One. If you're amazed by these unbelievable crashes and the stories behind them, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible Formula One content. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. From Zhou's heart-pounding flip, we rewind a few years to a crash that stunned the 2018 season and became an instant meme for F1 fans around the world. Nico Hulkenberg flip, 2018 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. At the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi, the final race of the 2018 season brought drama beyond the championship fight. On the opening lap, Nico Hulkenberg and Romain Grosjean engaged in a fierce wheel-to-wheel battle. The clash sent Hulkenberg's Renault car flying into the air, somersaulting violently through the twilight sky. The car rotated about 1.5 times before crashing upside down into the tire barrier. Immediately, flames burst from the rear of the car, sending shockwaves through the stands and millions watching worldwide. Medics sprinted toward the burning wreck, radios crackling in tension. Amid the chaos, Hulkenberg's calm radio message broke through. "I'm okay, guys." His cool-headed response not only reassured the F1 community, but turned a potentially tragic moment into an iconic meme, forever remembered as Nico's flip. This crash showcased not only the danger drivers face, but also the improvements in car safety and emergency response that keep them alive. Hamilton versus Rosberg collision, 2016 Spanish Grand Prix. The Mercedes teammates Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg had been fierce rivals for years, but their clash at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix remains one of the most explosive moments in recent F1 history. As the lights went out, Rosberg grabbed the lead into Turn 1, but Hamilton, hungry to take the fight to his teammate, pushed aggressively through Turn 3. Defending fiercely, Rosberg squeezed Hamilton toward the grass on the outside of Turn 4. At over 180 miles per hour, the high-speed tussle turned catastrophic. Hamilton lost control on the grass, spun, and slammed into Rosberg's car. Both Mercedes hurtled sideways into the gravel trap, ending their race before a single lap was complete. The silence that followed was deafening. Two championship contenders, teammates, and bitter rivals had just taken each other out in spectacular fashion. The paddock erupted, blame was thrown, tensions soared, and the entire F1 world realized this wasn't just a racing incident, but a breaking point in a fierce rivalry that defined an era. Carlos Sainz crash, 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix. Rain-soaked and chaotic, the 2021 Hungarian Grand Prix first lap was a test of survival. Multiple cars collided in a swirling mess at Turn 1, as visibility and grip dropped to dangerous lows. Amid the chaos, Carlos Sainz tried desperately to avoid the carnage, but his Ferrari lost traction on the slippery surface. Spinning out of control, the car slammed rear first into the barriers at Turn 1. Enough to lift the rear wheels off the ground. The car became wedged under the tire barrier, the rear wing crushed, the diffuser damaged, a race that looked over before it even started. But fortune smiled. The race was red flagged, allowing Ferrari to perform emergency repairs, and Sainz returned to the track to fight his way back to an incredible fourth-place finish. The onboard footage reveals a chilling reality. Despite the 5-point harness and safety gear, Sainz's upper body violently lurched forward on impact. It's a sobering reminder that even in the modern era, F1 remains an extreme sport where danger lurks every corner. Romain Grosjean fireball crash, 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix. November 29, 2020 will forever be etched into Formula One history, not for a victory, but for an extraordinary act of survival. In the chaotic opening laps at Bahrain, Romain Grosjean's patience wore thin as he tried to avoid slower cars. Attempting a sharp move on Daniel Kvyat, Grosjean clipped Kvyat's car, sending his Haas careening off track at 137 miles per hour. The car pierced a steel barrier, splitting in two and erupting into a terrifying fireball. Flames leapt high into the night sky, with Grosjean trapped inside the raging inferno. For 27 agonizing seconds, the world watched in horror. Cameras turned away as marshals and medical staff sprinted toward the scene. His team's garage watched in tears. Then, from the wall of fire, Grosjean emerged. His racing suit charred, his hands badly burned, but alive. The halo, once doubted by many fans, deflected the barrier and protected his head. The survival cell held firm, and Grosjean's indomitable willpower saved his life. Thinking of his wife and children, Grosjean summoned every ounce of strength to push himself out of the burning wreckage. This crash became a powerful testament to both human spirit and technological progress. From Grosjean's fiery battle for life, we turn back to a crash that nearly changed the fate of one of Ferrari's brightest stars. Felipe Massa helmet impact, 2009 Hungarian Grand Prix. It was a blistering summer afternoon at the Hungaroring when a near-fatal accident shook the F1 world. Rubens Barrichello's Brawn GP car hit a bump, shedding a 1-kilogram coil spring from its rear suspension. The spring bounced wildly along the track. And just as Felipe Massa blasted down the high speed straight into turn 4, it struck his helmet at over 160 miles per hour. The impact was devastating. Massa's head snapped backward, his eyes closed, and his body went limp. The Ferrari careened off track and crashed into the tire barrier. Marshals rushed to the wreckage to find Massa barely responsive, blood leaking under his visor. Airlifted to hospital, he was diagnosed with a skull fracture, concussion, and a critical cut near his eye. For hours, he was kept in an induced coma. Though Massa miraculously survived and returned to racing, many say a part of his fiery, title-contending spirit was lost that day. A poignant reminder of the risks drivers face every lap. Sergio Perez crash, 2011 Monaco qualifying. At the tight, unforgiving streets of Monaco during the 2011 qualifying session, Sergio Checo Perez was pushing hard for pole position. As he exited the tunnel at nearly 280 kilometers per hour, Perez clipped the inside barrier at the chicane, spinning violently. His car slammed side-on into the Tech Pro barrier, the right side absorbing the brutal impact. The qualifying session was immediately red flagged as marshals rushed to his side. For several tense minutes, fans held their breath. Thankfully, Perez escaped life-threatening injury, suffering only a concussion and sprained thigh. After 2 weeks in hospital, he returned to race at the Canadian Grand Prix, stronger and more determined. Charles Leclerc near miss, 2018 Belgian Grand Prix. At the high-speed La Source hairpin, an incident unfolded that could have had devastating consequences. Nico Hulkenberg misjudged his braking and slammed into Fernando Alonso's McLaren at full speed, launching it airborne. Alonso's car flew directly over the top of Charles Leclerc's Sauber, scraping the cockpit area and ripping carbon fiber apart. But amidst the flying debris, one device stood firm: the halo. The newly introduced cockpit protection device took a direct hit, shielding Leclerc from a potentially fatal blow. The scratches on the halo remain a stark reminder of how close this crash came to disaster. All 3 drivers walked away, a powerful testament to the advances in safety technology. Romain Grosjean first lap chaos, 2012 Spa-Francorchamps. As the 5 red lights went out at Spa-Francorchamps, Romain Grosjean got a lightning start, but what followed was pure chaos. Just seconds in, Grosjean misjudged the space between himself and Lewis Hamilton. His rear wheel clipped Hamilton's front wing, sending both cars into a spiral of destruction. Grosjean's Lotus car launched over Hamilton's McLaren, flying straight over Fernando Alonso's Ferrari and narrowly missing Alonso's head by centimeters. 4 cars were out before the first corner, and the track was littered with debris. The sheer violence of this crash shocked everyone, one of the most dangerous and dramatic first lap incidents in modern F1 history. Which crash shocked you the most? Do you have a favorite moment or story from F1's history? Let me know in the comments below.